Hey, hey, hey.
Welcome to Best Practices Unveiled. I am your host, Annette Eberhart, and this is a judgment-free zone. This space was created just for you, for open, honest, and thought-provoking conversations. Here, our guests speak freely, our stories run deep, and together we uncover the practices that help shape our lives and strengthen communities. This is where transformation begins. So lean in, tap in, and get ready to evolve because the next level starts right here.
That's a good one. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, everybody, to this episode of Best Practices Unveiled. Today's guest is Erica Saccocio. Always say it wrong. Is that good? Who is a respected early childhood leader with more than 25 years of experience in the field. She is a host of the Childcare Director's Chair. She's a coach, multi-center owner, keynote speaker, and a member of the John Maxwell team. Can't wait to hear a little bit more about that, Erica. Erica is passionate about supporting educators through mentorship, leadership development, and real conversations about what it takes to grow and sustain programs in early childhood education. Today, we're going to talk about mentorship, leadership, advocacy, and how educators continue to grow in this work. So without further ado, I'm going to allow Erica to give her own introduction, and I am truly grateful for your presence with us today.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me on the show. I am so happy to be here and I can't wait to talk a little bit more about it. I would love to say that my introduction is I'm probably just like a lot of you who are listening. I was a mom who had a kid and said, "Oh my God, what am I going to do? Am I going to stay home? Am I going to quit my job? What am I going to do?" And that's what brought me to the field of early childhood education. I did not wake up one day and say, "Hey, I want to be a teacher." I didn't know it, didn't know that was going to be my path, but that's how I started. And I absolutely loved it. I was able to bring a lot of my skills from other positions that I've had. I've always been in management and leadership. And I was able to bring a lot of that and my sales into the office at a local childcare center. And I worked there for like 10 years. It was an amazing experience. I learned all of the regulations, all the ins and outs of childcare, and then moved on and opened multiple locations with my sister Chris. And I've been doing it ever since. I've always been an on-site owner for a really, really long time. And just about 2 years ago, I had I don't know what to call it, an epiphany, I hit that mental wall that so many educators do, right? And you talk so much about exhaustion on your show. I hit that. And like I was like Wonder Woman. I'm still like Wonder Woman, but like a robot. Literally, I was just on autopilot. But so much had happened in 3 years. There was COVID, my mom passed. Just there was a real lot. And I've been, I kind of had held everything together. And then one day I was on the playground at my school and I couldn't breathe. And I wasn't sure if it was a heart attack, an asthma attack, or a panic attack. So
Wow.
I did something that I never did before. I traveled for the first time in my life alone. I went online and I looked, and you're going to love this because it's so up your alley. I looked at all of these health and wellness places because I knew I needed more than a bubble bath. I knew I needed more than one massage, and I knew I needed more than a pint of ice cream. So, and I do love ice cream. And I said, I needed to recheck in with myself. And so I did. So I flew to Arizona. I live in Rhode Island, just to give this context. Never flew alone and flew across the country by myself. I unplugged my phone and I told my family, again, these are things I'd never done. I told my family, "I'm sorry, I love you all. But if you want me to stay on this earth, I need a week to myself." And
Yeah.
I unplugged from work. I never did that. And when I say unplugged, I like truly unplugged. Like I never turned on a radio. I didn't turn on the TV. And I went to this place called uh gosh, I want to say Kavana, but that's not exactly the name. Savannah. And I walked the labyrinth with no shoes. I went hiking.
Oh,
I got multiple massages. I sat in whirlpools and hot tubs, and but most importantly, I was truly just with myself. And while I was there, I wrote a chapter in a book with 10 other women. I wrote my chapter, and that had been sitting on my to do list, and it was called Women Excelling Everywhere. And when I came back from Rhode Island, I was a different Erica. The Erica that flew to Arizona, I hate to say, she passed away. She is no longer around. And as much as I still am very much Wonder Woman and do all the things that you mentioned, I do them on my terms, at my pace, and I give my energy where it's reciprocated. So that is the long story of how I ended up here. And so for 2 years, I literally have lived my life unleashed. I go where I want to go. I do the things. I went to, as you mentioned, John Maxwell. I took their leadership course, became a John Maxwell trainer, coach, and speaker. I started traveling all over the country many times by myself, doing keynotes, doing breakouts, and the podcast started as my therapy. That's where it really started. It was I when I came back, I said I cannot be the only educator who felt this way. And so that's what it just started, just me and a mic talking to myself. And I just kept talking, and I had so much to say. Clearly, I mean, like 534 episodes in, I drop an episode daily, Monday through Friday. With the exception of this week, I did do replay this week of 5 really great episodes, but normally it's just brand new content, literally Monday through Friday. So I don't mean to take over your show. I'm so sorry, Annette. I've been waiting to get on your show forever. Me and Annette, for those of you who don't know, me and Annette have a very strong connection and friendship, one that I cherish very much, and I've been waiting to be a guest on her show. All right, I'll
oh,
shut up now. Okay, Annette, do your thing.
talk about an introduction. Wow, Erica, that is amazing. And it's not often as educators that we take our own you know your ownership
Yeah,
of our livelihood, our wellness. It's constant what we do. And you're right, we do have a strong connection. And people, I have been around this woman working, and she traumatized me. She doesn't know this. I'm telling her now, because you all know I work. I'm very active in the field, the community. But when I tell you, Erica puts in work, and it's nonstop. It's intentional, and she pours into so many other educators with just everything you've just shared. And you just kind of gave us a clear picture as to where that passion and that drive came from. And I think it is important that we check in with ourselves. And again, because we're on constant go,
mm.
we don't do that often enough.
Yeah. It's funny too because John Maxwell says before you can lead anybody else, you got to lead yourself. And I
Yeah.
was not being a good leader. I was a good boss and I was everybody's friend. But when I look back, was I being a good leader? No, I really wasn't, because I'm supposed to be setting the tone. And am I setting the tone that the way that we show that we're professional is putting ourselves in the ground? That's not really the poster child that I want to be for. And
Right.
I and
Yeah.
like you, my center is like multi-generational at this time. My daughter's 27 years old, and that's not the example I want to set for her either. Although she is a very boisterous, She's not a millennial. She's, I don't know. She's one of the generations after that. But she's like, Mom, I will never work like you. I will never. And I always say, people say these young kids are lazy. I don't think they're lazy. I think they have a different perspective. And I don't think it's 100% wrong, right?
Right.
We come from this work ethic, and you show up sick and all the things, right? But really, then you show up in the hospital with a heart attack. That's where you show up.
Yes.
That's where
Yes.
you show up. And that's not
Yes.
that's not how, that's not the example we want to set, and you set such a good example. If you're not on this lady's Instagram feeds and Facebook feeds, this lady is up every morning at 5 working out, doing the things that she's putting. Like, if I watch her workout, I'd be traumatized. She's putting in the work in other places. Let me tell you, this lady's
Right.
always at the gym. She's always working out. She's drinking her mushroom coffee. She's setting that example of health and wellness. So good for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And as we're speaking about this, as early child care educators, we've both been in the field for some time. And sometimes the daily demands of work can be a lot, and because it's the same thing basically every day, we can become complacent, causing us to maybe miss opportunities of growth. What advice would you give educators who feel stuck and unsure about their next steps?
Okay. We got, how long we got now? I would say the first thing is be mindful of your time. And when I say, time management, we all have the same 24 hours, right? You, me, and Beyonce, right? What do you do with that time? How much of that time are you spending on reading a book, listening to a podcast, going to the gym, doing something that helps you staying grounded and centered and focused? Okay? Because just because you moving doesn't mean you're productive. So be aware, write down what you're doing, right? What you plan to do. Because a lot of times in early education, we show up as firefighters. We're not showing up as leaders. We're like, okay, what emails, do I have to answer? What parent is upset? What teacher called out? Who do I got to counsel? Because sometimes you're the boss, the mother, the counselor, all the things that really truly aren't your role. So I would say the first step is be mindful of your time. Be mindful of positive and negative energies. And I know that sounds so like wah, but I'm just telling you, if you have people you have two people that lift you up and people who pull you down. Be mindful of that. And I laugh because old Erica would not have even known what the heck I'd be talking about right now. But new Erica knows, right? So be mindful of that. And it's okay to like pour into others, but if you're around somebody who's constantly negative, all they can ever see is the negative. Every time you give a solution, oh, well, that won't work because of this or that. You got to step out of that circle.
Right.
And the other thing, as far as growth goes, get out of the rooms that you're in. Get into new rooms. I know it's scary, right? I was scared to get on the airplane by myself. Literally, when I tell you, everywhere I ever flew, I took my sister with me, right? Like, if we were going down, we was going down together. That's kind of how we joke around that, which is probably not a good plan since we own the schools together. And then what would that mean for our children? So probably not a good plan, but that was the plan that we knew that we did. I would say, get into the rooms that make you a little uncomfortable. Get into the rooms where people are where you want to be in 5 years, right? Get in those connections now. And the other thing I would say is really reciprocal relationships. To me, I would say that's so, so important when it comes to growth. Be around like-minded people that not only pour into you, but maybe just share, there's a lot of gatekeepers in this field. Get around the non-gatekeepers, right? I'm going to tell you right now, I'll tell you anything you want in the world and you don't got to pay me $9.95. Okay. So get around people who are willing to share knowledge, right? Because we all win. Listen, there's enough kids for everybody. There's enough staff for everybody. And so be around people who want to see you win. Yeah.
Wow. That's good advice. And I'm a witness that that's who you are and that's what you exude. I mean, I'm a part of her mentorship program, one of her trailblazers. And I have connected with some amazing women in that group, and we challenge each other to be better
Mm.
at what it is that we like to accomplish. And even for my own personal growth, I met Erica. Has it been 2 years, 3 years?
We met at Flacy, so about 2.5 years. Yeah.
2.5 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hadn't even started my podcast yet. And she's just walking around being Erica. And we started conversating, and she let me know. I was telling her, I think I had my books, my publications at the
Mhm.
time, and I was sharing that, speaking and starting a podcast was something that I wanted to do next. And she was like, come on around the corner. I got one. I have
Yeah.
my microphone and
Hop in
everything
the
set up.
seat. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh my
My
gosh.
mic is your mic, girl. My mic is everybody's mic. I
Yeah,
am here to amplify those
absolutely.
voices. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
people don't believe when I tell them, Erica, that I'm shy.
Mm.
So that was a challenge for me. That was really a big step for me to even come over, sit down, and have the conversation. And I think that that really propelled me into this space. You know,
I love
and
that.
I'm still new to it, but I'm getting better with it, and I love it. I love connecting with people. I love sharing. So you have been a major contributor to
You make me blush.
yeah,
You
to
make
where
me
I'm
blush,
going.
girl.
Yeah, really. And I think that it's important that we give each other flowers
Yeah.
in the moment. So thank you.
Oh, well, you're
Thank you for
welcome.
all that you do.
You're very welcome.
Um,
And, I feel like it's a reciprocal. So again, get in those rooms with people like, Annette. And, even if you're shy, and if you're not shy, right? Because I'm not shy, I'm outgoing, get in the room. Shy, get in the room. Get moving
Absolutely.
around, right? Because there's probably somebody who's really great that you need to connect with who might just be shy. But if you're not that shy person, get on over and say hello, and
Yeah.
you have such great energy. And you were out there already doing your thing. And I love watching your Instagram and you just getting out there speaking. And I mean, I can only see like in 2 years, you're just gonna be everywhere. You just really are.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
of
you.
course.
And I think mentorship in our industry is very important, and we're talking about it. Why do you believe mentorship is important for educators, especially for those who are still trying to figure things out and
Sure.
where they want to be?
Sure. I mean, I guess you kind of just go with like your experiences in life. I've been very lucky to have amazing mentors. I feel like, mentors are folks that you can really just kind of count on to help you get through things. Sometimes they're a sounding board. Sometimes they give you advice. Sometimes they don't say anything and they just listen. But
Right.
I think, if you be selective with who your mentors are too. Um, I think mentorship is such, I'm going to use this word again, reciprocal relationship where when people exchange ideas, thoughts, different perspectives, both people learn. A good
Right.
mentorship is where both people are gaining something from that experience. And
Absolutely.
I just think I think it's working in a silo is I don't know. I'm a people person. To me, that would be drudgery, right? I don't like to be alone. I don't think I have all the answers in the world. I do think that there are people that are smarter than me, and I want to tap into that because I want to reach my full potential. And so, for me to do that, that means you have to keep learning and growing. And so, yeah, sometimes the mentor is not even a place that you would think that the mentor would come from. It could be literally, I'm going to say this to the old folks who've been out here for a while, right? OGs. And I'm going to put myself in that category. I have a whole new workforce. So for me to think that I can relate with the Gen Zs and all the different syllables that we got going on here,
Right.
um, to think that I would no, I don't. So I sometimes lean in to my daughter and my niece Jaleesa, who's head of our HR, and we have to discuss like, okay, a perfect example. My niece was like, "Hey, Auntie, when we're looking at benefits, instead of a raise, I rather have more vacation time."
Mm,
And so that opened my eyes to, wow, a lot of these folks do value being able to travel, being able to, get out there and do things, or maybe even working. I mean, since when have we been talking about 4-day work weeks? That's a new
Right.
concept over the last 5 years, right? So
Exactly.
sometimes I get the mentorship from folks that are not I hate to use the word above me because I don't like that, but not considered my peer, but maybe somebody who works with me who doesn't have a title or position. This is why I always talk about leadership is not a title.
Title.
But from
Exactly.
but from folks that can help me understand better. I think that's the word. Folks that can help me understand better or help me grow in an area that might not be my strength. And that's why mentorship is important. And then friendship is great too. Again, isn't
Yeah.
it nice to be able to pick up the phone and, like you said, there's 12 ladies in that group. You could literally message any one of those ladies and say, "Hey, I need to talk. You got 5 minutes?" And they would make the 5 minutes. They probably would make the
Absolutely.
20 minutes because we like to gab a lot. But
Yes.
yeah, right. But it feels good to have that support.
Definitely. Like-minded individuals that are
Yeah.
on the same wave. Yeah, for
And
sure.
like-minded, yeah, like-minded doesn't mean you're clone, okay? Because you can definitely love somebody to death, respect them, and not have the same viewpoints on things, and that's
Yes.
okay too, right? Because that can open your mind to different thoughts, different ways, different perspectives to look at things. They joke around here and they call me yin yang. They're like, ugh, because somebody will come to me and say blah 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 blah, and I'll be like, did you think of it this way? Oh, I didn't. I hate when you do that to me. My sister calls them the tricky words. I'm like, they're not tricky words. Yeah, I just have an innate ability to look at people because I study people really, to look at people and say, okay, before I open my mouth, let me listen, make sure I understand what they're saying. And if I'm not sure, I will ask them, I need
That's
some more
important.
clarity. I need some more clarity around this. Can you help me understand your perspective? Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think, it's almost cool to have some mentors who have different perspectives because it does challenge you. It does
Yes, it
challenge you to
does.
see things in a different light.
Yes, I totally agree. I agree. Um, yeah, different perspectives are good, especially when you're learning and you're growing,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah, for sure. Speaking of growing, you are in the process of writing.
I am.
Have you finished your book? Or are you
Oh,
still working on
all
it?
right. Let me tell you. Okay, let's get into this. Okay. As much of a Wonder Woman as I am, I have to tell you. So, first of all, this is my third book that I had started and not finished. Okay. This one is going to get finished. I think I have this thing in my head, and it's not procrastination at all. I have this thing in my head that I want a book to be so helpful and so inspirational in a world of, I hate to say chat, anybody can pop out a book in 5 minutes. And so again, it's that intention. This book could be done right now. We have a draft. It for me, it doesn't quite meet the Erica standard. And so for me, I
Mm,
have I have a standard. And the first book was a collaborative book. It wasn't my book. I just had the privilege to write a
chapter.
chapter in it. This is my book with my name. And I hope this doesn't sound vain or whatever, but I have standards and this book has to meet my standards. And before I sell a book, whether I give it away or it costs you $2,000, I want to make sure it encapsulates everything that I really wanted to say. So it's meaningful to me. It's a meaningful project. We were hoping to get it out by May 7th, 8th, and 9th for my conference. I have to be honest, I don't think I'm going to hit that deadline, but I've come to terms with, do I want to just get it out or do I want something that I really can feel good about? And the answer for me was, I want to feel really good about it. So
Right.
it will be done this year. So maybe it'll be Christmas, maybe my birthday, but it isn't going to be by May.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to it. I know you have been working on it. I think I saw you posting a couple of things
Yes,
that it was
ma'am.
coming soon. So
Yes, ma'am.
definitely
Yes,
wanted
ma'am.
to tap into it.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about mentorship. You were a mentor to me prior to you even starting the mentorship.
Mhm.
But I want our listeners to know about it, how they can tap into it,
Sure.
because it has definitely added value to me. So tell them
Sure,
a little bit
sure.
about that.
Yeah. So we created, and my program is pretty new. I just started it in September. So I mean, we're not even a year old in terms of a formal dashboard and all the things. But I really started the Trailblazer, the EC Trailblazer program because I have had the opportunity in the last 2.5 years to meet such incredible people like yourself and made these connections. And then, as I went through the John Maxwell and understanding really what true leadership looked like, not really what I thought it was, but really what it looked like. And there's lots of leadership folks out there. I mean, I think that's probably the number one category is leadership and management,
Right.
right? Which are two very different things. I don't talk a lot about management. Although management is necessary, I don't talk a lot about that because I really do truly believe that everyone in ECE that wants to be able to lead can. It's intentional and it's
Mm.
work. And we have in our group such an eclectic group. So when I started it, I thought I started it for childcare directors, but the people that came in the group said, "No, I want in on this." We have lead teachers. I have
Mhm.
other coaches. I have other speakers. I have other podcasters. It's incredible the amount of people who are like, "No, that you are speaking my love language." So if you want to
Right.
learn to be a stronger leader, even if you are a teacher assistant, and let me tell you, I started as an after school van driver. Okay. I didn't even have my GED when I started. How's that? And
Wow.
I put myself through school while I was going through a divorce. And then I just kept going. I'm still in school. I'm working on my master's right now in curriculum and instruction.
Oh,
I'm 55
congratulations.
and thank you. I'm 55. I want this to land for a minute. I'm 55. I own my own schools. What's the ROI? Nobody is my boss. I'm not getting a raise because I get this degree. I'm getting the degree for
Absolutely.
me, right? So that's really what I want people to be able to do. I want them to see whatever their best life looks like for them in ECE, whether it's you're staying in a classroom, whether it's you want to move from a lead teacher to a director, or you want to open your own center, or you don't want to do any of that and you want to coach and train people across the country, whatever it is, you need to lead to be able to do that. And
Yes.
so, come on into our group. I give the first month for free. If you love it, awesome. We'd love you to stay. If we're not, not for you, and we're a special group. We're very intentional. And we do put in the work. I mean, we definitely do. There's some reading, there's some downloads. Like, I'm gonna hold you accountable. Like, this isn't just pop in, pop out whenever you want. I'm gonna be on you. If you miss a meeting or two, like I get emergencies happen, but if you don't come for 4 weeks, I'm gonna be on you
Right.
because I promise to help you to be your best self.
Yes.
And so that takes two people, right? That takes the work, right? I'm on you. I'm like, did you do your homework?
Absolutely.
Did you do
Yes,
the
she does.
download? Did you right? Yeah, I do. I am that girl. Right? Because I want the
Yeah.
best for you. I want the best for you. Um, so yeah, if folks that are interested, you can go right to my website. It's childcaredirectorschair.com. Right on the top, it says membership. If you hit membership, it's got all the details there. It's got a code for you to pop on in for the month for $0. You'll be able to see all the content. I don't gatekeep. You'll be able to see all the content from
Mhm.
September all the way to now. So you get almost a year and a half of content. Well, not a year and a half, sorry, over a half a year of content that you get to look through. There's podcasts in there, there's videos in there, there's downloads in there, there's reading in there, there's journals in there. I mean, pretty much we mix up. There's games that you can play with your
Yes.
staff. I mean,
Resources for parents.
there's
It's a lot of stuff in there.
yeah,
Yeah. You stay supporting
yeah.
um educators. And I love how, like you said, there's no gatekeeping. You could tell everything is intentional. Um, that's what I'm saying, you all. I mean, to be around her, I've been in the room with her and watched her work nonstop. She's amazing, and she's really intentional about what she does. The conference is amazing. She had her first national conference in Rhode Island last year, and I was able to attend, and I was blown away. The speakers, the
Mhm.
workshops. I have never been to a conference and they had so many vendors. I mean, tell them about the conference and then the opportunity. Wait, the opportunities that you have your season. A lot of times when you attend conferences,
Mhm.
they're the same people over and over again. We all want quality, and I get
Mhm.
it. We all want quality speakers, people who have been
Mhm.
around, well known. But at this conference, you have your you have your in between, you have your
Mhm.
endowed people who've been around for a while. So I love that
Mhm.
give voice to all in the field.
I love that. Okay, I have so many things to say. First of all, I want to say in terms of the gatekeeping and in terms of the coaching program and all the things intentional, you are right. So I just want to say this. I don't want people to get there's a lot of coaches
Right.
out there. The first thing I want to say is you can pay a coach $50 to I don't know, $6,000. I think there's some that are even a little bit more
Yes.
than that, but um, what I'm going to say is I wanted it to be accessible. I'm very much about opening the doors for people. And so I wanted it to be where a TA could afford to be in the program. So it was very important to me. I know a childcare owner can afford 49, it's 49 bucks, it's $10 a week,
Right.
okay? But the value is so high. This is not dollar store value,
Absolutely.
right? So I wanted that. I wanted to make sure that people that are listening, like, I don't want them to look at our program and then look at other programs and go, well, this is only 49 bucks. It can't be at the level of this $600 a month. No, it can. And it is. And I'm on the same stages as all those people and have the same amount of experience in all those things. To me, it's important that we lift up our
Yeah.
field. And so, as much as I can do as part of that process, I'm going to do. And you are 100% right. The speakers are great because I had the privilege to be able to travel the country in 2 years and meet many of these speakers in person. So not only was I looking at you like, yeah, that's great. You have a fancy headshot and a speaker sheet, which you
Right.
do need for those of you listening. If you want to get out in the circuit, you do need that. I want to know you. I want to
Right.
know the quality. I want to be able to see what you're going to bring to my people. And it isn't always necessarily on the paper, right?
Right.
The other thing is, yeah, like why are we still going to conferences where we're seeing the same 20 speakers? I wanted to bring something different, which is also why I brought it to Rhode Island. Many of the folks that flew in had never been to Rhode Island. I'm
Right.
like, we don't have to have every conference in Florida, although, girl, I do love Florida. But, we don't have to go to Florida, Texas, Vegas. We don't have to go to all of those. There are
Right.
other places, right? There are other places, and you meet different people. If you go to the
Absolutely.
same places with the same people in the same room, guess what? You're going to get the same thing,
Same with
right? You're going to
yes.
get the same thing. So mix it up. And that was exactly what me and Noelle decided to do. We said we're going to mix it up. We're going to bring in some people who have been on plenty of stages, um, and have them be anchors. But I brought in, and I did this year too. We have 35 speakers. Some of those speakers, this is their first conference that they're speaking at, or maybe their second or third, right? But these are high
Right.
level people who maybe just decided they were going to start getting out of their centers, and
Absolutely.
or whatever maybe their career change. I know there's Avad who's works in a school right now who I think is probably going to flip over to just being a coach. Same thing with Jamie, right? So I have those types of folks that are coming, and we do mix it up in the room. And if you thought last year was great, there is so many things going on this year. We have 3 days instead of two, because last year we had one leadership day. This year we have two. Saturday, we have the whole downstairs of the hotel. We have educational vendors. You thought we had a lot last year. We have educational vendors,
Oh,
but we also partnered with a local artisan group called We Be Jammin'. They have the grand ballroom, which is the whole space. There's 111 vendors just in that area. So
oh
there's
my
there's
goodness.
local artisans, and like some of the things are not education based because you know what? Teachers want to have fun, right?
That's
We
right.
right. Everything doesn't have to be buy this from. I don't want to say any school, any
Right. I
company
get it.
names. Well,
Right.
you don't need another piece of furniture, maybe, right? But maybe you need a good candle. I know that sounds silly, but if we're talking about burnout and we're talking about taking care of ourselves and all of those things, then I want those things there to be, you could make your own pens, and there were custom
Yeah.
teacher t-shirts and
Right.
live podcasts, free headshots. I mean, there's just so much going on there. This year, Kate and Carrie are bringing their authors areas. They're doing some books, book signing, stuff like that. So there's quite a few authors that will be there. There's quite a few podcasters that'll be there. We have the awards night, which we didn't have last year.
Right.
So we have, best of the ECE awards night. So if you know some great educators, hop on over to our website. I'm sure she'll put it in the link below. Hop on over and nominate some of these educators. And the top educators are going to get free tickets to come out to the conference. So what else? Oh my gosh, we have a paint and vino night on Friday, and then Thursday we just got VIP. Just my trailblazers and a few selected speakers are going out for dinner. But sorry, you're not invited. But my girl Annette is. But yeah, I really appreciate my founding members of my coaching group. So they're getting the red carpet treatment. But honestly, everybody who comes to our conference gets a red carpet treatment. But yeah,
absolutely. Wow, that's going to be amazing. Yeah. So the registration is on the website as well.
It is. So I have good news and bad news in that. You want to hear it?
Don't tell me it's sold out.
Friday is sold out. Friday Leadership Day is sold out. So you can get in the room on Thursday. I'm not playing. You can get in the room on Thursday. We have about 25 tickets left on Thursday. And I would imagine maybe by next week it'll be sold out. And then Saturday we do have some tickets for. We have we could take up to 550 educators on Saturday. So yes, girl. So Friday is sold out.
Congratulations!
Thank you. Yeah,
that is amazing.
Yeah, and the leadership days, they are very much like a mastermind retreat style. We get 80 of like the top minds in a room, and trust me, you want to be in that room if you own a center, if you're an educator or you're an administrator. And Saturday, you want to come on out. Saturday is the full day conference, and the folks that you meet are incredible. So yeah,
wow,
it's been a great way to start my morning, Annette.
Yes, this was amazing. Truly amazing. So we went over your book, the conference. Is there anything else you want to share with the listeners before we take off?
I would love to share with my listeners, your listeners, our listeners that are listening right now. If you have not liked, subscribed, followed Annette's podcast, do it right now. Make sure you go on her Instagram, her Facebook. Where else they need to go? Is that it? Those are all the things you got? You got a LinkedIn?
Yep. Oh, and I have a LinkedIn. Absolutely.
And her LinkedIn. Listen, write it down. Write it down right now. Find Annette Eberhart. Tell them the places to go.
I'm on LinkedIn under Annette Eberhart. Annette Little is my personal Facebook account. That's a story I have to share one day.
Okay.
And then my Instagram is under True Goddess 14. And I also have best practices on Facebook and Kids Are Us. So social media platforms are really strong in my on Facebook for me.
So are those all going to be in the link below? Are those all going to be
okay? So
those are all going to drop in. They say we can do a little coaching right now. You have a YouTube channel, girlfriend?
Yes, Best Practices Unveiled.
Right. You didn't say that.
On YouTube. Absolutely.
YouTube. So do all those things.
Annette 05. Absolutely.
Yeah, Annette is out here. She is working hard. Thank you so much for tuning into her show, and continue to do that. Like, support fellow educators. It doesn't take any money. It just takes a few minutes of your time. She really appreciates it. She is working really hard, and she's a great girl. So she deserves your support. So thank you for having me as a guest. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. And tell them where they can get to you.
They don't need to worry about me. They don't need to worry about me.
Yes, they do.
Follow Annette. You will find me wherever Annette is. So
that's right. We are connected.
We are. Yeah. That's
I'll put all that information down in the link, the bio below. And this has been amazing. And I'm sure my listeners are going to find value in this conversation. So thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. All right. I'll see you really soon, like in 10 minutes. Bye.
Thank you. See you soon.
To everyone listening, this is a space where diversity and innovation are created. If you'd like to be a guest or collaborate, I'd love to hear from you. Email me at AnnetteE05@gmail.com, or you could message me on Instagram at TrueGoddess14. Let's keep planting seeds, building relationships, knowledge, and understanding. Until next time, keep evolving.